Man, welcome back. We are on another episode for Tpsmedia. I got my guy here, Jimmy Trilla, one of the best route runners I've seen that ain't touched the NFL field yet. Man, how you doing, man? How's everything going? How's the summer?
I'm great. I'm up here on campus. I'm enjoying the work. So, putting in a lot of work with the guys and with myself. So, looking forward to the season.
That's tough, man. So let's get right into it, bro. Tell the people where you're from and how you started with football and things like that.
Most definitely. I'm originally from Chicago in the Chicagoland area. I started playing football probably around 5 or 6. Not in like actual games, but just throwing the ball around the house. My mom would tell me a couple passes here and there, but
Mm-hmm.
I started playing like actual organized football in like fourth grade, fifth grade, so I was a little late, but um, I know just from a young age, I just fell in love with it immediately.
So for everybody, if people that don't know, my guy plays receiver. So give me your receivers like that you grew up watching, like probably your top three that you grew up watching.
Most definitely. My top three receivers gotta be. I gotta go with Dez,
Okay.
um, Dez Bryant, most definitely. Um, it's a hard list. I grew up with so many great guys, like just in the league at the time. Probably Steve Smith.
Ooh.
Uh, he was a great one. I just loved him because he was so aggressive.
Mhm.
Steve Smith, Dez Bryant, and probably Larry Fitzgerald. Just
Ooh,
the
that's a good one.
just the subtleness and just the way he just made plays without having to, you know, talk his talk or just he was just real subtle with it.
Mhm. Steve Smith was a dog, bro. That he gets so underrated for so long. I don't know why.
People don't
So
talk
let's get in. Yeah, people don't talk about him a lot. That's crazy. And then he went to the Ravens and was still going crazy. So
so
yeah,
going at
that's
it.
crazy. So let's get into it. So you said you're from Chicago originally, Chicago, Illinois. So you made the move to Dallas. When did you realize when you was in Chicago, like, okay, I want to go crazy with ball, like I gotta get somewhere where they take it like more. Not saying Chicago don't take football serious, but like it's crazy football in Texas. So get
No,
into
yeah.
that and why you decided to move to Texas.
So my grandma, she had moved down to Dallas around a little after I was born, and she came home to help my mom out with me and my sisters, and so me and my grandma, we became best friends, and so
Mhm.
she used to tell me all these stories about Dallas, how she loved it and whatnot. So I wanted to go see Dallas for myself because my grandma loved it. I gotta love it. So
Oh me, yep.
I was really young and I wanted to move, and we were actually supposed to move because my grandma she moved back up, but she kept the house down in Forney
Okay.
in Forney, Texas, so right outside Dallas. So she kept the house just in case we wanted to move. But my mom, she didn't know, if that was gonna be the right move for us at such a young age. But so we stayed up there, and my grandma sold the house down in Texas, and so my whole life we were supposed to move, but we never did, and it was always just a dream of mine to live in Dallas. And obviously, growing up, I got to watch a lot of on YouTube the state championship runs and the state
Hmm.
championship games, and so I just knew the environment was different. I knew that was just a spot for me to be. So, uh, probably June of 2021, I think it was going in my junior year, and I took some camps down in SMU, Dallas, and Oklahoma at the Oklahoma camp,
Yep.
and I had you know grew my pages and started looking at guys down in Dallas, and so I met this guy Quay Davis. He was a 5-star, number one receiver in the state of Texas, and so I had messaged him a couple times, and I found out like the workouts he was doing and the late workouts, and I wanted to experience that with them,
Hmm.
and he hit me back and he was like, "Yo, come through," and so I did, and I immediately as soon as I got there with the two live group, I just felt the same energy and the same passion I had for football. And so I just knew that was to be the spot I needed to be was in Dallas.
Hmm. Give me just a second, bro. Hold on.
Good.
My bad, dog.
No, you're all good.
My mom was calling me. You know, if you hang up on moms twice, it's over with. So My bad. But that's
No lie.
that's yeah, for sure. My fault, bro. So you got to Texas. What was the first high school you was at when you got down to Dallas?
I had moved down to Highland Park,
Okay.
so the Scots, and so I moved down, and so we came down in June, and we packed the house as soon as we got back, and we made the trip in July to make it official and move down. But it was such a small window that I didn't really know and have time to research my schools, and the only school I knew about was Highland Park. So
Mm.
I had the blessing to go there for my junior year.
Okay. So you told when I first messaged you and things like that, you told me you didn't really get any varsity snaps when you first got down there. So talk about how like hard that was. Like you have moved your whole life and you can't even like it's crazy that you can't even get a varsity snap. Like talk about how stressful that was and like how'd that lead to you transferring to your second school down in Texas?
Yeah, so it definitely played a toll. Um, I was already missing home a little bit, and I felt like my skill and the knowledge I had picked up that summer alone, it was
Mm.
unmatched. Obviously, I was a little undersized. It's something I can control, but on the field wise, I felt like I definitely could compete with the Texas guys, and it took a toll. Definitely, most definitely. Like every day, it was hard to know that
Mm.
I like was not getting the best opportunity I could at the time, and so
Right.
I just knew, and I had the great guys around me that helped me, maintain my path, stay tunnel vision, and just control what I can control.
Okay. So you didn't like we mentioned, you just talked about you didn't get varsity snaps. So let's talk about going to your second school. Elaborate on that for me and get into the success of your senior season.
Sure. And so going to my second school, I went to W2 White in the north side of Dallas. Um, I had a couple guys that I knew that went there through off season training and whatnot. And so we didn't really know if we could stay in Highland Park, live in Highland Park, and so we just had to keep my options open just in case we had to move and how to get out of the area. And so just knowing those guys, at WTY, it just felt really secure, and I felt like I already had a bond with them. And so when it came time, again, it was really late, a really small window, and
Mm-hmm.
late July, coming up to you know camp, and so I didn't have a school yet, and so I was like, we pulled the trigger, and so we transferred over. I got through the admission process, and so it was amazing feeling. And just the coaches, they just they show mad love for me, trying to help me out in any way they could. And so that was a huge like momentum change. That really just propelled me up and helped
Right.
me get where I'm at right now.
Got you. So senior season, correct me if I'm wrong on any stats, because sometimes they be misleading. You have
Yeah,
46 catches, 1,012 touchdowns. For the people at home that don't know, it is very hard to get 1,000 yards on under 50 catches, let alone 46. So talk about talk about that year and how exciting it was to show the state of Texas and your former school too, because I know you had some. I know you was like, yeah, y'all should have had me on that field
yeah,
on varsity. So
yeah.
talk about that and elaborate on that senior season with your success and things like that.
That it was a really amazing feeling to know my work, really is paying off, and can pay off even more in the future.
Right,
Um, it was just a surreal season. Again, like I said, WTY coaches, they showed mad love and support for me, and they saw my skill set, and they wanted to help me out, and for me to help them out. It's a nice little trade
right,
there. And I'm blessed to be able to do, like, have done what I done for them and for myself, and it was just a spectacular year.
mhm,
I just went out there every game and just had the same mindset of I'm gonna do what I can do to make sure we come out with a win.
right.
I wasn't really worried about how many stats and how many touchdowns I'm gonna get or how many touches I'm gonna get. I'm just gonna go out there and do what I can do my job to make sure my teammates are fulfilling their levels and doing the
Right.
best they can do.
So, like I asked you in so when you got to the second school, when did you like sit down and you're like, okay, leaving Chicago was the right choice?
Yo, yo, um, it hit me instant. I'm talking about like that weekend I moved down. It was there.
Hmm.
Do those workout sessions with Two Live. I the second workout, it was my first weekend there in Dallas. I went viral. I know Overtime posted a couple clips of mine. Got over
Hmm.
like 60,000 views or 60,000 likes, probably like, half a million views probably. But
Right.
that was just like, I just knew that weekend, it was just going to go uphill, like continuing to go uphill. I just knew that was the right decision, that I was just going to grow to be the athlete I need to be.
Mhm. So before we get into, figuring out where you're going to school and things like that, talk about the people you train with and the advice you've gotten from a lot of big time NFL players. Like I said, you mentioned a couple of players in our messages before this prior to the interview. So what I'm remembering off the top of my head was that you got a cool relationship with Dez Bryant. You cool with CD. I seen you train with him a couple of times, and you got advice from perennial Pro Bowls like AJ Brown and et cetera. So talk
Yeah.
about like having them type of guys in your corner and getting the best advice probably in the world. Like there's
Yeah.
nobody else in the world that could give you advice on receiver. So elaborate
Exactly.
on that for me.
So, that was what really, makes everything so special for me, is that
Mm,
I came from, Chicago and Chicagoland area where not many guys are coming from Chicago and going to the league. And when I moved out to the suburbs, and it was kind of just like, not no one had, your back. And so no one,
mm,
really wanted to support you. Then I got a lot of my peers who didn't believe in me, and they would say that to me, and so
right.
um, moving down and being instantly surrounded by pros, it was crazy. So I'll give a shout out to Two Live for them. That's how I met Dez, through those workouts that I post and those one-on-one clips. Um, you know, Meeting my idol and the guy I grew up watching, it was crazy. And so he took me in with so much love. Now he loved how I was cooking the DVs, and so every time I would have a rep, he would help me out. Like he would even if it was a good rep, he would tell me like what I could do better. And
Right.
so
That's
getting advice from him was huge. I've been around, Laquan Treadwell. He's a guy from Chicago. Lance Lenore also. Um, Noah Brown. I mean, the list just goes on. And so the amount of knowledge I have from these guys has just changed my life completely on and off the field. And so I think that really separates me as a football player, because not many guys are getting half the league to look at them and compliment
exactly.
advice. And so even like last year, I started blowing up just for my workout videos, and I started growing on TikTok. AJ Brown hit me up, and so we started connecting to there, and he's showing nothing but love. So shout out AJ. Another guy who hit me was Robbie Anderson. Um, you
Hmm.
know, really skinnier guy, small guy who's down and on a lot because of his size, but he hit me up, and another guy that just showing love. And I feel like some of these guys who don't even give too much, words, them just being there is enough, and it's more than enough. And so that's just huge.
Exactly.
It's changed my life.
That's tough, man. There's not a lot of high school seniors that get to, get some advice from Dez Bryant, AJ Brown, and all them people. So do you feel like it's a brotherhood around Dallas? Like, obviously, you don't want to give too much sauce to the other receivers, but do
Yeah.
you feel like working out with them and getting some good work in and stuff? Does that put y'all above the rest of the state or even the rest of the country?
Oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. Like
Mm,
like I said, the Two Live group. That's what we're built off of. It's the brotherhood. And so I've encountered a lot of athletes in Dallas who are really selfish and don't want to help grow. But I mean, the way we run it, the way we run our show, is all about everyone's elevating and getting better. Even just myself, when I go out and work out, I'll have a lot of kids in the area come out and see me and work out with me. And I just love myself. I love just seeing someone get better and seeing someone evolve. And so I see that a lot of guys in Dallas with like CD Lamb. Like he just pulled me aside the workout we just did a couple days ago, and he was just like telling me what I can do better. You know, he doesn't have to
Right.
do that. You know, he's just there to get work out with
Exactly.
us for himself, but he did that just off of the love, and so that's what I've seen a lot in Dallas, and so I definitely say Dallas is probably the spot in the country. That's that
Hmm.
spot in the country. So yeah,
Man, everybody, well, from what I see, everybody either is in Cali, Miami, or Dallas every off season. So it's like I know obviously Michael Parsons plays there, but some Cowboys players don't even stay there in the off season. But you got people like
yeah,
Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, all them people coming to Dallas to work out. So you to have all them in your back pocket is crazy, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's tough. So let's backtrack back to after your senior season. Talk about offers and any. Give me your top three schools, and then give me a crazy visit story if you got one.
for sure. Um, my recruiting process was really, obviously I always say it's a blessing, but it was also, a struggle in my eye, in my heart. 'Cause I know where I feel like where I could have went and where I could have, been talking to, whatever these what ifs, in my head as a rising senior and being in my senior year. Um, I was talking to a lot of schools. I talked to Penn State, SMU for a little bit. I was in talks with Houston. Um, talked to TCU. I talked to a couple other schools, but so it was majority talks. And senior season came around, but the transfer portal opened up, so they couldn't really help do much for me, which I understand. And that's the new way of football. But I was blessed, very blessed. Penn State, they gave me a camp invite, and so they told me to come out, and so I got a little visit, unofficial visit with them, and I loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Being a northern kid, I love the weather. I love the nature, and it was just so gorgeous. Like the campus and just the coaches there, they just very welcoming and very loving, and so it felt like a place someone can call home. So it was really like unique to go there. I'm very blessed to have been able to go there.
Did you have a crazy like visit experience? Like, did you meet somebody on the visit you didn't expect? Did you have a story on campus or anything like that from any of your visits?
Um, Not necessarily, to be honest. My visits were really like very smooth. But
Hmm.
I think my crazy visit story had to be Penn State because my boy John Dotson, um,
Mm.
he was an alumni there, obviously. And so he sent a word in to the receiver coaches and whatnot for me. And so while I was there, they came up to me and asked me about John. This is how I know him.
Hmm.
And so it was kind of cool
Yeah.
that a guy I met in Dallas who played at a northern school and me going there all connects and ties together. So I think that would be a pretty cool story. I could, you know, pass on to my kids that connections really go a long way.
Mhm. And for y'all that don't know, Jahan Dotson is a rising receiver for the Commanders, who's probably one of the most underrated receivers. So I'm ready to see
For
how he
sure.
get to work. Him
For
and
sure.
really that whole receiving core is underrated because Terry McLaurin is disrespectfully underrated.
He's a dog. He is a
He's
dog.
crazy. So get into what's your this is a just a like a pop question, I guess you could say. What do you feel like is the best aspect of your game, and then what's the one you really want to get to work on?
Yeah. I like that question. I definitely say I hold my routes, very high.
Mhm.
Just going back to what we said about the knowledge I picked up from guys around me, you know, that really separates. I feel like me from other rising freshmen, and really, I like some older guys too. They'll ask me, what did you do this? How'd you do this here? What are you doing this here? And so they're asking me questions about what I'm doing in certain situations. And so I feel like that's what really holds me, a bar above a lot of receivers. But something I want to work on is probably just my size. Really, I feel like that's really um, what's holding me back from from some coaches and the way people look at me. It's just the eye test, and so that's really all I'm trying to
Right.
work on right now. Is my speed and my size. So yeah.
Got you. That's a good. I mean, you're gonna get swallowed in college for sure.
Yeah.
Them workouts is gonna be crazy. So, give me the best piece of advice you've gotten from those NFL guys that you've named earlier in the interview.
The best piece of advice. Ooh, that's oh, there's just so much, love that I got from these guys. It'd probably be Dez or Terrence Williams. They Dez comes from a lot, and so do I. So we've shared, our stories, and we have similar attributes in our lives, and so he's helped me a lot. Like trying to get around adversity. Going through adversity. Damn, I can't speak. Adversity. He's taught me a lot of how to go through it. And just keep your head down, your chin tucked, and just fight through it. You can't give up because it's the only option you really got. You either run through it like a brick wall, or you get smacked, across the face like it is a brick wall. So you only got two options. But Terrence Williams, he's helped me a lot. Him being an underdog and me being an underdog, he showed me a lot of love. And he's told me a lot of ways to just keep my head straight, how to avoid the outside noise, that buzz. So, yeah.
So there's gonna be because you're the route runner. You one of the best route runners I've seen in for real. So give me your best route runner in the NFL right now.
My best route runner. I get asked this question a lot. I want to say.
Okay, well, since you get asked it a lot, let's do this. Give me your most underrated route runner, because I'm probably sure you're gonna have the same answer every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me your underrated one.
I'll do both. So I got Tay Adams and Stephon Diggs in my top. Those two are really my top. Okay. My underrated though. Oh, Calvin Ridley. People don't talk about Calvin Ridley enough.
We forgot it. Well, not we, as in us, but most people forgot about him. Like Calvin Ridley. Ooh, that offense is gonna be crazy, bro.
It's the way he runs. It's not even like anything really specific. It's just the way he can run. How full speed he can run in and out of the race without having to slow down. Show the defender any tells that he's gonna break. That's just what's crazy to me. So I hold Calvin really, really high.
So talked about route runners. So let's get into how you feeling about being a freshman in college, man. Not even off the football aspect, but just talk about it's your first year. You about to be like on your own, basically. Like when you get to school, you ain't got nobody telling you when to get home. You ain't got nobody telling you doing homework. So talk about how excited you are to go through your first year in college.
I'm very excited. I'm actually up here right now in Wichita, at Midwestern State. I'm up here right now for some workouts, and I've been here since early June, and it's been. I really feel, really connected to myself, and just to life, and really disciplined. I've really learned how to control my discipline for myself. Going out late and working. I gotta make sure my body is, replenishes, and I gotta eat the right things, drink the right things, and I learned quickly and how to take care of myself. But yeah.
Got you. So give me your personal goals for your upcoming season. Like it don't even got to be just stats. It could be getting to this weight on like lifting or something like that. It could be anything like that. Give me your 3 goals as a freshman.
3 goals. I really want to keep my grades being A's. Most definitely. My grades, I really don't. I know I got a lot of older guys who've always told me D's get degrees, but I really want to, keep that bar high for myself. So that's definitely my first goal. My second goal is definitely, just to help the team out in any way I can. Obviously, I want to play. If I do play, I want to get that 1,000 yards mark for sure again.
Yeah, for sure.
Like having 1 year of varsity film, now I'm even hungrier now to go get it again. And so definitely 1,000 yards, and but mainly just helping the team out. Like if it comes down to it, if I'm on scout team, just helping the defense, I'm gonna push that defense to the extreme.
Yeah.
It's I'm prepared for the game week. But obviously, if I do get the chance to play, obviously I'll be ready. And so I want to hit that 1,000 mark for sure. And then my third goal, I want to hit probably 170 pounds
Mhm.
for sure. I want to end up at
So
about 170 pounds. So yeah.
those good goals. There ain't a lot of freshmen coming in saying they want to get A's and B's, so you're already on a good track. So, like you mentioned, you're committed to Midwestern State. You freshman about to start there. Uh, Talk to me about how that opportunity came about and how you ended up committing there for this upcoming season.
For sure. I got my offer from Midwestern State in about December of 2022. So this school year. And I remember we got pulled out of class, me and my a couple teammates, and we went down to the office, we sat down. It was with the receiver coach too, and he was really showing love for my game, and he really understood the receiver position. And so we were just talking receiver, just man to man. And so it was a really great experience. And at the end of the meeting, he told me how to offer. And so I was really excited because I only had picked up a NAIA offer. So it was my first, kind of bigger offer. So I was really excited. And so that it came down to be pretty much the only school that, fit right for me. It looked right for me. And so um coming up to signing day, I had picked up a PWO at Texas A&M, and so that was a really
Ooh,
tough decision. Trying to balance you know the opportunities that I had, and so I ended up taking Midwestern State just because I have a better opportunity to see the field right away, and so that's
mm,
really what I need to do. I just need to focus on making sure I'm playing. So because the league can find you from anywhere. And so, as long as you have game tapes,
right.
I wanted to make sure I get good, great film. So I felt like Midwestern State was the home for me, and the coaching staff has switched up a little bit since I committed, but they're still showing love. It's a great coaching staff, so I'm excited to rock out with them.
And that's a big decision because a lot of people like that shows maturity because a lot of people are gonna be like, "Ooh, Texas A&M, I'm taking it." Then they get there and they ain't start until 5 years later, fifth year
Yeah,
senior.
yeah,
So I respect you doing that because a lot of people would have just took it just because it's Power Five and D1
yeah,
and all that. But that's because you still like I'm not saying you're gonna leave Midwestern State, but you still got the transfer portal and stuff like that.
exactly.
So I'm excited to see how you're gonna go crazy at Midwestern State. So
Yes.
we getting to the end. I got a couple quick hitters for you. Who do you watch film on the most in the NFL, or it could be college for real?
So college, the guy I watched a lot last year was my guy Jaden Reed. Coming from Chicago, played at Michigan State, and I gotta
Mm,
say Tank Dell. Smaller guys, not the biggest, but just ball players. That's really all it
right,
is.
playmaker. He's
You see a
crazy.
lot of guys like Quinn. What's his name? Q Johnson from TCU. Big athletes,
Yep.
but these guys are just ball players. You can play all special teams on the field, running back. You can ball don't man, running back. Like that's
Right.
just ball players. So I love the way they move in and out of their breaks. And Tank, when he gets the ball, it's pretty much over with. So in the league, I watched a lot of obviously Tay Adams and Stephon Diggs, just patient
Yep.
players. Really respect. They know to respect the DB, and so they go in there every week, with a new game plan, and that's what I love. That you'll never see the same thing with either of those guys, really. And it's just
Facts.
things that move. Like everyone wants to say Tay Adams has the same release, but it's different every time. He's hitting a different angle without y'all even knowing. And so
Right.
Jarvis Landry is another one that I love to watch, and he shown love last summer. A couple videos of mine, and so just his film is crazy. Just the way he's so patient and he just moves so subtle. It's amazing. It's art.
Mm. So give me a receiver you'll compare yourself to in the NFL.
Ooh. Everyone recently has been calling me like a Cooper Cup, which I gotta
Okay.
see. but I really would like to compare myself to Diggs. You know, I
Yeah.
really feel like I can see myself in the Diggs just because I've been working really hard on my brakes and the way just to be smooth. You know, Diggs isn't freaky fast, and he's not freaky big either. So,
Mhm.
but the one thing we can promise is that we're going to be really smooth in every break. You know, and so
Right.
I really compare myself to Diggs.
Okay. Trying to think of another one. Ooh, who do you think is going to be the best rookie receiver this year?
I like that. Yeah, this class is stacked. I'm not gonna lie.
Stacked, bro.
There's like so
Stacked.
many guys that just went like undrafted too. Like they couldn't even get picked up because there's just so many good guys. Um, ooh, I probably had to say a lot of people want to say Zay Flowers, and I could see that. I could see
Mhm.
that for sure. Him being a good like a just he fits that offense so well. So I probably
Man,
say
it's gonna
Zay.
be crazy.
I probably
Zay.
say
Okay,
Zay for
that's
sure.
not. I feel like Jordan Addison is gonna be tough too, because he gets to go in there and just be the number. I say
Two.
number two. I mean, they got KJ Osborne too, but it just depends. Jordan Addison is crazy though. Like he's a very underrated route runner and a crazy deep threat.
Yeah, and that's another guy who just fits the offense so well. So it's definitely gonna be him and and Zay.
Yeah, for sure. So this is the last one before we get to the end. Give me a piece of advice you'll give to a high school senior such as yourself going into your senior year, with not the looks you think you deserve or you deserve, in my opinion, from your tape. So give me a piece of advice you'll give out to a high school senior.
Yeah, um, I would definitely say just control it. You can control. It's a motto I've always been told since I was young. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so it takes a while to really really mature and to settle that into your body, into your soul to really control what you can control. But as soon as you do that, you'll really see results you want to see. You stop trying to compare yourself to other athletes or stop trying to force coaches to look at you, even just in your high school program. When it
Right.
happens, it happens. And you just got to keep pushing, keep grinding, doing what you can do to, better yourself. Because that someday, somebody's gonna be looking at you, and you gotta be ready for that. So yeah,
That's deep, bro. I say that motto all the time. Just control what you can control, because you think about it, you can't really like you said, you can't really force a coach to look at you. Like you said earlier too, a coach is gonna find you if you got that tape. So
exactly,
one more. Who would you recommend on the show to come on the pod, and could you make that happen?
for sure. I'd definitely say my guy Cameron Hunt. He plays at Whitewater up in Wisconsin. He's a really
Mhm.
really great guy. Definitely get send this to him and get him on here. Um,
Okay.
and another guy, I'll probably say Terrence Williams. He's matured really well, mentally, physically. He's gotten right back into football. So I'll definitely send a message to him and definitely
Yes, sir.
give him a look to you for sure.
Yes, sir, bro. So we at the end, man. I appreciate you. This
Yes, sir.
was
Thank you so
this was
much.
tough.
Yes, sir.
Besides the little interruptions, this
That's
was a
okay.
good one. This
Yes,
was
sir.
a good one, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. Good luck. I'm
Sure.
gonna be paying attention. If y'all play up near me, I'm at a game, bro. I gotta catch a game.
Sure. Sounds
So,
great.
like I said, appreciate y'all tuning in, man. It's another installment of TPS Media, and we out.